Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Babick. I'm a senior at Florida State University and currently enrolled in Foundations in Emergency Management. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss culture and its role in the framework of emergency management. First, let's start with the simple question of what is culture? There is no one true definition of culture. Rather, culture exists on a continuum of what we choose to define it as. Most will agree, though, that culture is based on shared values and can include one's ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, experiences, gender, marital status, profession, family, age, immigration status, disability, socioeconomic status, rural or urban background, and most importantly, language. It is also important to remember that culture is self-identifying and ever-evolving, and it is what one, as a person, should identify with. One of the largest obstacles associated with culture is language and language barriers. For example, in this map, we see the number of counties in the U.S. where 10% or more of the population speaks a language other than English at home. The highlighted counties show 708 counties for Spanish, 20 for Native American languages, 21 with German, 15 with French, 12 for Pacific Island, and 11 counties for other various languages. To fully understand the complexity of language,
it is important to remember that emergency management starts on the local level, so knowing your home community is crucial for implementing successful policies.
Spoken in New York City.
We need to remember that Spanish is not the only language other than English in the U.S., and that there are other immigration populations from all over the world in different communities around the country.
For example, in New York City, with a population of 8.4 million people and home to over 800 different languages, this serves as a perfect example of the importance of knowledge in a variety of different cultures and languages. This became overwhelmingly clear in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy, where ethnic enclaves in New York suffered from some of the worst damage from the storm. For example, Brooklyn has several Russian-American communities, including Bay Ridge, Gravesend, Sheepshead Bay, and Midwood. Staten Island's Russian-American communities are in South Beach and New Dorp. However, the largest Russian-speaking community in the United States is Brighton Beach. Many Russians in New York retain at least part of their Russian culture. The primary language of Brighton Beach is Russian, as seen from Russian businesses, clubs, and advertisements. A significant portion of the community is not proficient in English, and about 98% speak Russian as their native language. Now we're going to talk about the whole community approach. The whole community approach has many strategic themes, but most of them focus on understanding the community complexity, recognizing community capabilities and needs, fostering relationships with community leaders, building and maintaining partnerships, empowering local action, and leverage and strengthening of social network and assets. Again, it is important to recognize the complexity within one's community and the demographic background, and knowledge is key and important as an emergency manager. To reiterate, know your community. Cultural awareness workshops work well in helping educate emergency managers on the cultural aspects of their community. Cultural competency trainings are also very efficient, as well as cultural efficacy workshops. Now I'd like to talk about the Gullah Geechee, a centuries-old culture formed by the descendants of former slaves with a uniquely African or West African culture and heritage. In the picture to the left, you will see Queen Kwe Marquetta El Goodwine. She serves as the chiefess and head of state for the Gullah Geechee Nation, and has increasingly taken on additional responsibility of environmental stewardship for her people. She has spoken for the United Nations, the U.S. State Department, and a number of legislative bodies in the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. She has acted as an expert commissioner in the U.S. Department of the Interior and was a participant in the White House Conference on Conservation. Queen Kwe's initiatives focus on the stewardship and conservation of the environment,
of the sea islands the Gula inhabit. Specifically, they focus on the restoration of oyster beds. Oyster beds serve as natural barriers against storm surge. They also help to filter out water and serve as natural balances for the ecosystems within the southeastern United States. The Gullah Geechee are working hard to protect their way of life, and in doing so, helping many other coastal communities along the way. Due to the increasing severity and frequency of natural disasters, it will be ever more important to utilize the crucial keystone policies of the whole community approach. Culture will continue to play a very important role in emergency management, and present and future policies must continue to reflect this. This concludes my presentation on culture and emergency management. Thank you for listening.